Roughly 5 years ago, I began a history program called Thumbnail History that never really made it off the ground. It actually began as an attempt to lend a little historical perspective to a major holiday, Easter. As that holiday is quickly approaching, I thought we might take a little time to experience some history in the form of that series I once called Thumbnail History, which was actually born out of a simple hashtag, Easter Loves History. So, this episode of Prose will serve as a preview of sorts. Here is the Easter Loves History preview of St. Ambrose and the Assyrian Empire. Enjoy. As we approach Easter, I thoroughly encourage everyone to explore why it is they believe what they believe. Not in an abstract, touchy-feely, subjective way, but from a historical perspective. For example, if you do not know Aurelius Ambrosius, aka Ambrose of Milan, aka St. Ambrose, and the role he played in inventing what most would think of as Christianity and its connection to or separation from the governing state, then you are ill-informed in your belief system. This egalitarian local official turned financial Nicene Christian leader shifted the history of the world, ecumenically and politically, and, according to Gibbon, was a catalyst for the eventual fall of the Western Roman Empire. Consequently, his subjugating Theodosius is why this history nerd simply cannot call the latter the Great as his common cognomen. Go read about this man. On a slightly different note, for those that are indeed interested in the Judeo-Christian tradition, getting to know the Neo-Assyrian Empire and all the players in the Mediterranean, Near East, and Middle East during the period following the collapse of the Bronze Age is a must-do. One figure I am particularly drawn to is Ashurnasirpal II of the aforementioned Neo-Assyrian Empire. This bad mamma jamma was a conqueror of the highest order, and he had no time for any jive. The overly cited, even Wikipedia has this, joyous rendition of some of his own exploits speaks of his conquering, saying of his enemies, quote, "Men young and old I took prisoners. Of some I cut off their feet and hands. Of others I cut off the ears, noses, and lips. And of the young men's ears, make a heap. Of the old men's heads, I made a marionette. I exposed their heads as a trophy in front of their city. The male children and the female children I burned in flames. The city I destroyed and I consumed with fire, 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 fire." Unquote. This rock star of the ancient world opened the door for Tiglath-Pileser III, Shalmaneser V, Sargon II, and Sennacherib to go and obliterate the upstart kingdom of Israel and directly affect Judaism and therefore Christianity. The vassal status of the numerous lasting kingdoms of what was Israel was so traumatic that, though they are recorded all over the place in many other cultures' records, the Bible very pointedly leaves out this vassalage. All of those events drive the Old Testament Israelites and have a direct and clearly lasting effect on the modern world. I certainly hope that you've enjoyed these two small snippets from the Thumbnail History series, in particular, hashtag Easter Loves History. The backing track for this piece was taken from the Free Music Archive. It is titled Freedom, from the album Beginning EP by Cyrus. It is being used under Creative Commons Attribution 4.0 International License. Thank you very much to Cyrus for sharing this music with the world, and yet another thank you to Free Music Archive for providing a means for artists to do so. Next week, we'll have even more Easter Loves History, as well as some other little snippets that are geared for the holiday. Until then, as always, thank you for listening to Prose. I truly appreciate your time, and I hope you've enjoyed these little bits of stories, narrative, and poetry. Until next time, farewell.